Alright guys, TedRabbit here, back again, and if you haven't been watching CWL Champs, I want a very good excuse because we've had a hell of a couple of days, some of the most exciting Call of Duty I've ever watched, and OpTic Gaming, the reigning champions, are out, including many other upsets. It really has been a crazy couple of days, and we're looking forward to Black Ops bracket play now. I was about to say Black Ops 4, that's a couple of months away. My predictions have been completely thrown out of the park. If you don't have the time to watch this whole video, then I'll leave a link to my recap of day 2 down in the description box below. If not, we're going to go through it now. So firstly, I want to go through the pools, how they all shaped up, and then we'll have a look at the bracket and see how I want to jinx all the teams, basically. So let's have a look. Let's just jump right in. It's been mental stuff, it really has. Group A. LP and TK got out, as I predicted, but not in the right order. I expected TK to come out on top, but this pool was a lot more closely contested than it seems off the results. Epsilon, as I thought they were going to be, were completely woeful here. They only won, I think they won a map off LP, and they took one off TK as well, or maybe off Heretic, something like that. Didn't get very far. Okay, well, I can see here, I'm a plonker, aren't I? Yeah, they got 3'd by LP, they took a map off the other 2. Just horrible stuff from them, they never got going. Heretics had such a good chance to make it out of bracket. Basically what happened here is, I can go Group A matches, yeah. The LP beat TK, which is the big upset of the first day. But TK still had a chance, but they were 2-1 down to Heretics. If Heretics had beaten them, TK would have been 0-2 and completely out of the tournament. Because Epsi would have also been 0-2. And then it was guaranteed who was going through. But TK managed to clutch up. Heretics have this awful... they're such a good team when they want to be, but when it comes down to crunch time, Heretics just perform at 70% of their normal level. It's horrible to see. They threw leads to both Heretics and Lightning Pandas. They're up 2-0 in the series, actually. And after they lost to TK, they still had a chance to qualify. TK were guaranteed to go through after they beat Epsi as well. But Heretics could have qualified if they'd have beaten Lightning Pandas 3-1 or 3-0. They go up 2-0. They win what they need one of the next 2 maps. They lose the next 3. And it's just horrible for the Spaniards. But I think the right 2 teams went through, the best 2 teams on the weekend. LP were really impressive beating TK, but TK have lost to Enigma 6 in pools at Anaheim. So maybe just a slight hiccup there. But of course, TK finishing in 2nd sets up a very exciting first round prospect with Rise Nation, of course. So we'll get into that. Lethal Gaming also got out of Pool B, which is a pretty incredible outcome. I was very impressed with these guys, actually. I thought they wouldn't win a series outside of Game 5, and I was correct. They won both series in Game 5, and they also lost in a Game 5 to none other than Rise Nation. So they played everyone very close, and it seemed like they always won the hard point or a map that they needed to get it to Game 5. And Lethal comprised entirely of Search and Destroy stars. Teddy Rex, Super, Rambi Bambi, and Zaptius, I think, however you pronounce it. So, these guys did well. Brash also impressed me. They managed to reverse sweep Tainted Minds, but at this point it was a consolation match. They actually threw away a massive lead to Rise Nation in the very first hardpoint they played in the tournament. They ended up losing that 250-247. Then they got blown out the next couple of maps. That was a disappointing way for them to get 3-0'd there. And then Brash also lost to Lethal, but that was another very close map 5 series. So could have gone either way here. But Lethal definitely impressed me more than I thought they would. And Tainted Minds really... lackluster performance, losing to 2 LCQ teams like that, not even top tier LCQ teams, that's rough. So Lethal managed to get through. They'll be playing against Lightning Pans in the very first round. Who would have predicted that coming out of pools? Group C, Red Reserve. As expected, they dominate the pool. They lost a map to Zone. Did they lose maps to everyone they played? Yeah, they lost 1 map to everyone they played. I think they lost the CTF in maybe every single one of these series. Because obviously they all won the map 4 hardpoint to win 3-1. And they definitely went up 2-0 on Ghost and Zone. So I think they lost the CTF in every series, which is a problem for them because they've had questions in the league about their CTF being weak. and it's costed them against the better teams. They'll go up 2-0, they'll be looking great, but they're just woeful in CTF, and then another team gets the momentum going. CTF's considered the swing mode. So Red certainly needs to do something about that. Their London Docks CTF used to be an absolute stronghold for them. They would never lose it, but I think they lost it to Ghost or maybe Mindfreak here. And Mindfreak are probably the worst CTF team in the league, by record at least. So Ghost Game managed to come out second. They beat Mindfreak in a series. It says 2-3 here, but really this should have been 5-0 because the two maps that Mindfreak won were absolutely unwinnable. It was just the most incredible series of the day, I think. Ghost drew up 240 to about 140 and on the Valkyrie, and Mindfreak come back and win 250-249. Ghost throw away the map just like they did to Red on the first day, and then Ghost somehow recover, win map 2-3. Map 4, the same thing happens again on Ardennes Forest. Just unbelievable stuff. But amazingly, a team with Parasite and Lacefield actually had the composure to clutch up and finish out the series. They dominated the final S&D, so that was just a very confusing one. Ghosts were clearly the second best team here. Bit sad for the Australians, but Ghost did deserve it. Group D, what is going on here, boys? Team Sween, Quicker, Moose, PT, and Wee Man end up topping the pool with a 9-3 game count. They destroy ECG. Well, everyone destroyed ECG. They were awful. Beaten Splice, beaten United. What is happening? I predicted this pool to go United, Splice, ECG, but then the Team Sween situation, they're in first, not fourth. This team just amazed me. These guys were teaming on Tommy, with Tommy, I think, on maybe the Vitality team or something like that before. And then they go over here, they pick up Moose, who didn't really impress me too much on Unilad this year. And then Wee Man, and it's now some crazy good team. Playster said in an interview with Deserto that he really likes this Team Sween squad, thinks they can be really good. In part because they play kind of a weird style, and sometimes you find that with teams that they don't have the biggest names, but I think Team Sween said they were the main scrim partners with Vitality, and both of them have got out of the group. So that's crazy stuff. They don't even have an org, and they're top in pools, and they have a fantastic chance matched up against Ghost in the first round here. United managed to get out the pool. They beat out Splice. Splice come top 24th. It's rough, but they were the third best team here in the pool. United outplayed them. They could have probably won the series against United, but there were a couple big moments that EU clutched up. And, Splice top 24, not the result they wanted. They bring in Josh, and it doesn't get anywhere near what they were expecting, I'm sure. They'll have to regroup and make roster changes for next year, but, the roster change situation is always weird because we don't know where the 5v5's coming in. I just do think Splice probably should have picked up like a young gun rather than going back to veteran Josh. Mac at Jerd Bance used to be that young star, and I think maybe they just needed another guy because you're looking at the teams that are making it out of pools here at Champs. You've got Red Reserve, obviously a team of mostly veterans and maybe scraps. And then you've got Unilad, very young team. Vitality, 3 of them very young guys apart from Tommy. And then you've got Team Sween that got Wee Man on. So maybe stacking your team with vets just isn't the way to go anymore. Especially in Europe, where we're seeing a lot of young talent come through, which is great to see. Down to Group E. This actually went exactly as seeded. This is actually a pool that I predicted correctly, amazingly. Phase 3 won everyone. Complexity lose to Phase, but they take down Enigma 6. Not really too much to be said about this. It just went by the seeds. Enigma 6 were proven to just be not as good as Phase and Complexity on the day. Morituri were not very impressive. Maybe they could have done more in another pool, but I never really expected that much of this squad. Enigma 6 take them down 3-0, but Dashi just put on some superhuman performances to get Complexity through in that second seed. So they're going to have a tough matchup against Unilad and Envy because this pool was to some extent uneventful. Like there was 1-3-1, everything else was 3-0s. Unilad didn't lose a map, they 3-0 everyone. Honestly, the Envy series might have been the least close out of all of them. They destroyed everyone, but the Envy series was absolute demolition job. I think maybe they beat Envy in a round 11 search and destroy, but they 100-point clubbed them in the hardpoint, and they beat them significantly in the capture the flag. And then Envy did the same thing to the other two teams. So Unilad were looking stellar. I know Envy isn't technically meant to be the best team right now. They may be like top 12 in the world, something like that. But Unilad absolutely ran through them, and that's really scary stuff if you're Complexity playing them in the next round. I don't think there's really too much more to say there. It went exactly as expected. Luminosity. Oh, baby. What a pool this is. LG. These are my pre-tournament favourites. I tweeted out that I think they're going to win champs. I don't know. I just fancy something about this team. They come out on the first 8, 3-0 Echo Fox. It's not even close. They take down Havoc 3-0, who didn't win a map at the tournament. And then they beat Vitality 3-0 as well. So, you know, they just destroyed everyone. They had a couple of close capture the flags on docks, but they clutched up in the end. And that's a good thing to see. If you're just blowing teams out, then maybe you don't have that clutch factor. But they're showing that not only are they blowing teams out in the other two game modes, but they've got the clutch factor to boot. And Vitality come out in second. Unbelievable scenes, as Havoc were just awful and Luminosity were excellent. They left it up to Vitality and Echo Fox to fight it out. Vitality did lose a round 11 search and destroy, but they won every single respawn against Echo Fox. This is Tommy and the Supermarket Boys, Maple, Chain and Denza. Just young talent from Europe in the most part. Veteran leader Tommy. I just love to see him doing well. It's such a cool team composition. And I really like the guys on that team. So I'm happy they could pull through and take down Echo Fox. Aqua and Vicento previously placed top 2, top 3, top 4 at previous champs, now top 24. Horrendous finish from them, but Vitality were definitely the better team in that series, and they 100% deserved to go through. Echo Fox performed nowhere near the standard we saw in the second half of the league. And what do we have here? Group H. I must be reading this wrong. Evil Geniuses. Aches, Patrick, Paddy P, Price tops the pool. 2-1. So does Elevate, makes it out as well. That's Spacely, Major Maniac, Proto, and Morks. And in third place, OpTic Gaming. This is probably one of the most heartbreaking ways to go out of a tournament, only losing one series. And maybe there's a discussion to be had later on, you know, whether the format is good and whether we should change the format to make it slightly fairer for teams in this position who lose one series and are out of champs. But then again, they required one map against EG and they got 3-0'd. So when you look at it like that, you have no one but yourself to blame, put it that way. So this pool kind of started as expected. EG took down Supremacy, OpTic beat Elevate, a resurgent Elevate. Elevate actually played OpTic pretty damn close. They won the Search and Destroy convincingly. They should have really won the CTF. OpTic closed it 3-1. OpTic take down Supremacy as well. Supremacy pretty much punching bags to this pool. They did win a map, but this is the Natche. This is the old Monaco team. But they had a very tough pool in their hands. Elevate proved to be a very dominant team. Not necessarily dominant, but very strong and competitive. And yeah, EG lost to Elevate. I was devastated for EG. I really wanted these guys to do well. They lose to Elevate, and OpTic were basically guaranteed to get out, I thought. So it looked like EG were going home. OpTic versus EG. Crazy matchup. Basically the final match of the day, on the Alpha stream at least. OpTic needed a single map to advance to the championship bracket. Evil Geniuses required basically a victory. If they got a win, they should have gone through unless Supremacy managed to beat Elevate or something like that. So EG should have been guaranteed to go through if they won, but Patrick Price, man, he's relentless. He delivered the 3-0. I'm not sure why OpTic went the direction they did with the vetoes. They played Gibraltar Hardpoint, which is a map that I think pretty much anyone can win versus anyone, because it really comes down to just crucial gunfights. If someone wins the one-on-one for spawns, then you can get like 60 seconds off that. So the better team, I don't think, always wins on that map. I'm surprised OpTic went into it. Such a good hardpoint team. EG win that. EG also took the S&D. Evil Geniuses went on that like 13 S&D losing streak throughout like stage 2. They somehow beat OpTic here, and then Arden for a CTF. It was kind of comfortable, to be honest. Devastating for the Green Wall. Then Elevate 3-0 Supremacy to put the final nail in the coffin that Elevate were going to make it through. And it's just crazy stuff. I'll have to do another video on the state of OpTic Gaming and what the hell they're going to do come Black Ops 4. But top 24, man, Scump and Crim have never even touched that low. And I personally had them in my top 4 for the tournament. I didn't think they were going to get past that. They were hardly favourites, but Jesus, what do you say? So those are the pools. Let's have a look at what the bracket looks like. Let's have a look at the bracket first, and then I'll bring up some of the predictions I've done. So, LP versus Lethal round 1. That's a mad matchup. Basically what's happened here is TK were upset by LP, and E United were upset by Team Sween. Therefore, we have a very stacked lower bracket. Rise versus TK round 1, Red versus EU round 1 as well. Maybe there's a video to be made on stacking the pools in this way, so that if one of the top teams is upset, then you get 2 of the top teams competing in the first round. But maybe there's not a better solution. I'm not sure. Anyway, this bottom half, it's like the World Cup bracket, absolutely stacked. Coming into the tournament, I would have said the best 5 teams in the world are Rise, TK, Red, E United, Unilad, and all 5 of them are down here. And LG are arguably a very competitive team as well on current form. Elevate have been good. This lower half is crazy. Only one of these teams can make it through to winners finals and have a shot at getting to the grand final. Whereas the top half is a lot more lackluster. LP, Lethal, like none. I don't think really any of these teams are as good as. I'd say 6 out of these 8 teams are better than every single one of these. Probably. On form. Maybe teams, who knows what's going to happen. But regardless, LP versus Lethal round 1. Mental matchup. The fact that one of them's going to make winners round 2. Maybe it'll be Teddy Rex. Who knows? They've got EG versus Vitality. You know what? Let's just go on to my predictions. Okay. It's pretty mental, but bear with me. I've done a very shoddy bracket here. I've actually got Lethal in the Lightning Panda series. I'm not really sure why, but I just think that if they've gone Game 5 with Rise, Tainted Minds, Brash, strong teams in their own rights, obviously Rise, multi-champions, I think they can go Game 5 with Pandas as well. And I kind of favour Lethal in the Game 5. I'm not really sure. This is a complete 50-50. It's a toss-up. I have no idea who's going to get through. I don't think whoever is going to get through is going to go the distance anyway. So I'm not really too bothered about that. EG Vitality. I think I favour EG just off the back that, they've just 3-0'd OpTic. How many teams can really do that? To some extent, I think that will light something of it's like wow, we had to beat OpTic to qualify for bracket, and we 3-0'd them. Like, who are we going to lose to now, But then again, when C9 beat OpTic in Black Ops 3 champs, they went on to lose to Fabi in the very next round. It was kind of a similar team to Vitality, if you think about it, young, underdog, European talent. So you never know there's a chance. I just think EG should theoretically have the advantage. But honestly, who knows? I can see it being a very close series. FaZe versus Envy. FaZe, they beat Complexity, they beat Enigma 6. Envy got absolutely whitewashed by the only good team they played in Unilad. So I think FaZe will just about have the edge here, especially off the rankings. I do kind of like this Envy team, but oh my god, when they played Unilad, they got outslayed so hard, there was almost no recovery. And then Team Swing versus Ghost Gaming, man. Ghost are not a team to be underestimated. They crushed Mind Freak, apart from the maps they choked, and they should probably have gone Game 5 with Red as well, because that first hard point they should have won, and then they won the CTF. So Ghost, a very strong team. Definitely a sleeper pick through the tournament. I just think Team Sween, they've beaten E United, they've beaten Splice. Who can't they beat in this side of the bracket? That's the question. I think they can beat any of these teams. So I'm going to favour them over Ghost. Probably a bit of European bias creeping in, but I'm keen for Sween, baby. Okay, let's go to the other side. Red Reserve E United. Red Reserve have had E United's numbers of late. This is just such a mental matchup to see in the first round. Red beat E United at Anaheim, I think, and they definitely beat them at stage 2 because Red come third, E United come fourth. So Red have had the edges of late, and E United did look a little bit shaky in groups, losing to Sween, and they didn't really look at their true dominant selves against Splice, even though Pristini has been on cracking form. So I'm just about going to favour Red, mostly for the storylines, because if they win this, they will play the winner of Unilad Complexity, and it's hard not to favour Unilad Esports here. Complexity, they lose to FaZe. Unless Dashi is going God mode, I don't think this team can do that much. Sensor has been pretty good. The whole team's been good. They all have their moments. Dashi's the one who's consistently dropping a 1.2 and above. But the teamwork of Unilad, it's just phenomenal. I think Complexity will probably try and move towards maybe a London Docks hardpoint where Dashi has been great. But Unilad's Shawnee just comes alive on that map with the bar. They've just destroyed everyone they've played on it. I think Unilad will have the edge, especially with their stellar search and destroy. They've got like a 73% win rate at stage 2, something like that. But I think I favour Unilad in this one, based on the rankings and also what we've seen so far. Luminosity Elevate, it's quite an interesting storyline because Spacely, a player for Elevate, was actually the coach of Luminosity a couple of months ago, so maybe he knows some of the tendencies of this team. Major Maniac has been a real revelation. Morks has had a fantastic tournament. Spacely's been dropping numbers. Proto's always he's a dirty work player, put it that way. I think Luminosity should have enough to come through this on the performances we've seen so far. Elevate did take down EG, but I'm not too impressed with this lineup. I mean, I'm impressed, but I'm not like, wow, this is a championship contender. I think J-Cap and Formal and John will have their way with these guys. Then we've got the last matchup. What are we seeing? Rise versus TK. A repeat of our Stage 2 playoffs finals. TK beat Rise in winners finals. Then go back to the grand finals. Rise beat TK in Series 1. TK beat Rise in Series 2. TK seem to be the only team to have Rise's number right now, which is very interesting indeed. Because if Rise were to lose here, or whichever team loses here, you're out of top 16 in losers round 1. How are you expected to make it all the way through the bracket and win the championship? It's almost implausible that the loser of this will come close to winning the title. So it's an absolutely crazy round 1 matchup. I think if there's any team that was to dislodge Rise early on, it might well be TK. And I can see it happening. I'm just going to favour Rise, just because I think that Rise will find a way to get to like top 3 or top 4. Will find a way to get up there. And if they lose to TK round 1, I just can't see them doing it. So I'm giving them the victory off those grounds. Let's go back to Lethal versus EG. I think I favour EG here. They should have the edge over Lethal. It might go game 5 again. Who knows? Maybe Teddy Rex is winning champs. If Teddy Rex wins champs, I'm gonna have to eat my hat, gents. FaZe vs Sween. This is a tough one. The E United coming into this tournament, 4th ranked in the world in my eyes. FaZe Clan ranked 6th in the world. If Sween can beat E United, they can beat FaZe. I'm probably a bit too keen for Sween, but I'm taking him over FaZe any day of the week, baby. And then Red Reserve Unilad. It tends to happen. Obviously, this is the battle of the brothers, the battle of the twins. Hopefully, we get it. Scraps versus Whiskin. It would just be great stuff. I think that Red Reserve tend to be a team that when they play another European squad, they always seem to have the edge. They've been a team that's not only been great domestically, but also internationally. So, we've seen it when Red has beaten Splice basically every time they've played this year. They should have the edge over Unilad, but that will be a hell of a grudge match. Scrap said he'd retire if Whiskin beat him. I don't know quite about that, but We'll have to see. I think I favour red. Then we've got LG versus Rise. Could easily be LG versus TK. I think I'm going to go LG here. I don't know. I just have a really high, I have a real high expectations of this team, and I think JCap's going to bring it home. Just going to bring another ring home, baby. I can just feel it coming on. Formal seems to have gelled into the team nicely. John is firing on all cylinders. This squad is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Do not underestimate these guys because they didn't make playoffs. They've got winner semis, e.g. Team Sween, Red Reserve, LG. You know, I used the line of reasoning that if Team Sween can beat E United, they can beat FaZe. Well, the same reasoning applies to e.g. Team Sween are winning champs. I've got Team Sween in winners final. I honestly think that, like, well, this side of the bracket is relatively easy. It opens the door for a team like Sween, Shea Quicker Sweeney, to make it all the way. So I'm going Team Sween, you know, why not? Like, then you got Red Reserve LG. I really would want Red Reserve to win. Imagine we got an all-European winners bracket final. It would be crazy stuff. But I've just got to favour LG, you know. Have I spelled that wrong? Nah, that's about right. It's kind of like, you know, words look weird after you stare at them for too long. So I've got LG taking it out of that one, and I think they're going to play Team Sween the winners final. They're going to beat Team Sween. They're going to go into the grand final, and they're probably going to play Red Reserve again. Team Sween in third, Rise in fourth. That's what I'm going for right now. But I've still got faith in my boy Jordan Kaplan that he can come away with the trophy. And of course his third ring. So, there you go. Those are my predictions. Probably dragged on a bit longer than I expected it to, but hopefully it was an entertaining video. Tell me what you guys think. The matches have been absolutely insane. If you got any thoughts on those, you can leave them in the comment section below. My bracket's pretty mad. I'm sure you'll think I'm wrong, but we'll have to see, won't we? Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, as always, and keep watching, champs. I'll see you next time.